Your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Even if you've applied before, they may be eligible now. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey, thanks for joining me today. I have a really wonderful guest. We're going to bring him on right now, Richard Somma. He is an author. I think he's across the pond today, so let's see. Richard Somma with two M's, Somma, wrote this wonderful book about Kris Kristofferson, of all people. So let's get going here. Let's see how this goes. Good morning, Richard Somma. How's it going? As we wait, he's in mute right now and figure out where he is coming from.
He is coming from the eager land of wanting to tell people about Kris Kristofferson.
Ah, okay.
Can
I
I ask,
assume where are you actually recording from today?
I am in Tarrytown, New York,
Okay.
which is
I
about a half an hour north of the Bronx.
okay. Yeah. I haven't been there exactly. A lot of us have been to New York City. I've spent a lot of time in Manhattan, of course, like many people do. It's gotten a bit touristy over the years, visiting Times Square and places like
Yes,
that.
yes, it has.
I remember I was about 17. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. And before we were going to start our senior year of high school, we all decided to run up to New York. We went up to upstate first, Lake George, spent some time there. It was a little boring for a bunch of 17-year-olds. And we were like, we're only like 2 hours to the city. So drove right on in. Sorry that we even drove right in because a little challenging driving in there and
Certainly,
quite a time.
it still is. And
Yeah. Yeah, this was before a lot of things were cleaned up, so it had that character, that gritty character that I grew up watching those movies, those Al Pacino movies and De
where
Niro
were
and those
you?
guys.
Where were you in high school? It sounds like you were in Pennsylvania.
Grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. This is like the east side of Cleveland, Ohio. Went to a school called Brush High School.
Uh-huh.
Um, the most famous person that came out of there, his name is Eric Carmen. He was in a band called the Raspberries and had a great solo career.
Yes. And in fact, I'm thinking of he had a big hit, and I can't as a solo act.
All by myself.
All by my yes, that's a good song. Who wrote that? I don't know who wrote it.
It was funny. I think he was the lyricist, but like it was based on a piece by Rachmaninoff, who I think the estate sued him for basing that because there are a lot of similarities with the base of that song. Yeah,
Rachmaninoff is not in the public domain now.
maybe not so much back then, back in the
Oh,
70s.
yeah.
Yeah, because it
Okay.
was like mid 70s, I think, when he wrote that. But yeah, huge success. I mean, it's amazing how much he had done with that song and how many people covered that and made a fortune off of that. Just that one alone. Just really incredible. Do you have your camera on today? I was just noticing.
Wait a minute. Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
fine. We can go half and half. And some people, yeah, they'd rather
Can you
not,
see me?
me not do a YouTube version of this, which is fine either
Can you
way.
see me? Can you see me
We're
now?
getting. Not yet. It's
You know
always
what?
a
You know what? I have this thing, and I cover the thing that I don't know what it's called, the scope. I don't want because
yeah, intruders coming in and seeing you.
yes, or somebody hacks into my
Uh-huh.
like anybody wants to hack in. I have fantasies of people of fearing things.
Yeah, that happens. It's like, well, I'm not that interesting, if if they want to know what's going on, R-
Yes,
Russia, are you listening?
Russia.
You're not going to learn very much. I have no intelligence secrets over here.
I um I don't know your name.
I'm Bob Niebel. I have this podcast I've been doing now for 5+ years. And I talked to artists and creators from all over the world. I started this during the pandemic because there were so many artists out there who just lost their gigs. And I thought, hey, this is a great forum to do that. I knew a lot of PR people who were calling me up saying, hey, can you do something for some of these people? And I was like, how about a podcast? So been doing it ever since. Yeah,
Wow,
we're
that's nice.
Yeah,
Uh,
and interesting folks like you who are just like, doing a lot of this stuff. I like music first. I've talked to a lot of people in different arenas, but music's always been that passion. I've done a lot of work for television as well and covered a lot of people. This one story I did, and a guy who was up near you, he's on Long Island. His name is Mike Del Judas, and he became the lead guitarist in Billy Joel's band. But
ooh,
how he ended up there was he was doing an act, a tribute act. He was doing it in the right place, which is on Long Island. So he got noticed by the folks connected to him, and he came in for a sound check. Billy's backstage and said, "Hey, this guy sounds just like me. What's going on here? Is this my recording? What's?" And short story, he became part of the band, and Mike does great, and he also does the tribute band while he's been working with Billy on the road. So now probably more so doing the tribute band.
yeah. It's funny that you call it tribute band as opposed to the more mundane cover band.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lately, it's always been billed as that the last couple of years. It's like tribute. I think it sounds a little bit better than cover.
And let me say, if we want to launch into my book a bit,
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely.
I have never used the word tribute, a tribute book, but it's a
Yeah,
tribute book to Kris Kristofferson. So
yeah.
I picked 67 songs. Not all of them are actually uh, written by him. I think about 50 are written by him. More are not written, but he sings. And then a few shed light on him. For example, he has Nobody Wins,
Hmm.
great song. And,
Yeah, yeah.
and believe it or not, Frank Sinatra covered it.
Yeah, it's
So,
amazing what Frank Sinatra would cover. Yeah,
yes,
obviously he was into he covered Just the Way You Are by Billy Joel. It's just like it's really
yes.
amazing that like, he was listening to the modern music and was inspired.
Or his people were. Somebody was.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I have both of those versions in the 67, and then I have an essay for those songs where I compare the two. What is Sinatra doing that Christopherson isn't, and vice versa? And it's to me
Hmm.
it's fascinating. Uh, Go ahead.
Yeah, it's really interesting because growing up, I mean, I kind of knew about the music. I mean, I'm under Gen X, and I think I knew more as an actor than anything. I'm not
Yes,
so sure. That's kind of like, I mean, I looked at somebody like Barbara Streisand as well, and I was like, I knew her more from like, hey, what's up, Doc, or then A Star Is Born. I didn't really,
yes.
my mother, of course, loved Barbara Streisand, but like Kris Kristofferson, same kind of thing. It's just that's what I knew him more from, and then I'm starting to do when I heard you did this book. I'm like, yeah, I heard the songs and everything, but like went through the deep dive, started with those 16 greatest hits and
Yes.
went from there. And so you have 60, why 67 songs? I'm sure this is the big question you get asked. Why 67 songs you're examining for your new book?
Because why is it 67 and not 100 or
Yeah,
150 or
whatever number.
it's funny. I have imaginary interviews in my living room, and I'm imagining that did you ever hear your last name is Nebel?
We pronounce it Nebel, but there is a guy named Long John Nebel who
Yes,
was
I was
on,
going to say
yeah, he was
very
on
big in New York.
WOR. Yeah.
I don't know if he's still around, but I just imagine Long John is interviewing me,
Yeah.
and I'm imagining that's the first question. So there you go. And I'm so ready for this question. Um, the thing is that, first of all, um, I didn't want to put something on just for a number. So I listened to every single one of his studio album songs. And and I made a decision about what I liked and what I wanted to write about. And why did I make a decision? I didn't start out wanting to write a book. I'm retired. I'm a retired math teacher.
Mm.
I was a teacher for 48 years, believe it or not, high school. And I loved every minute of it. And I wanted in my retirement life to be as fulfilled as I was as a teacher. So I decided, since I love Kristofferson, uh, I decided I wanted to understand. This would be one of my projects. I wanted to understand why I love him so much. Why is his writing so good? Uh, do you know that he's in this? Not only is he in the Songwriters Hall of Fame, but he's in the special wing of the Songwriters Hall of Fame. It's called the Johnny Mercer wing.
Oh,
I don't know if you know who Johnny Mercer is.
heard of John Rivers. Yeah, yeah,
Johnny
yeah.
Mercer he wrote Moon River,
Oh,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
and he wrote
Definitely remember that.
he wrote so many songs, and also he sang a lot of them. It was very odd, and he also started Capitol Records. So a very very interesting man. But anyway, they named the best of the best part of the Songwriters Hall of Fame. They named it Johnny Mercer, and he's in it, along with if you're interested in knowing, Stephen Sondheim is in it.
Oh, yes, we know
Smokey
Stephen Sondheim.
Robinson, I'm sure you know Smokey Robinson. Dolly Parton is in it. Uh,
Yeah,
she's a great writer. We don't think of her or I don't think of her as a great writer until I discovered, oh my God, she did write a lot of great songs. But anyway, so I wound up with around I don't know, 64 songs. And then I thought, well, Gino, I should have the Sinatra in there. I should have the Janis Joplin. So that brought it up to 66. And then, I'm making up the numbers exactly. I'm trying to make a point here. And then I wanted, they covered, uh, Hobo's Lullaby, one of the great songs in the history of folk music. Uh, and he did a great job harmonizing with Rita Coolidge, his wife at the time. And uh, I discovered in my Googling and whatever else I did that the tune, the melody is Civil War song
yeah.
called, uh, I don't remember, just for the mother baby or something like that. I could find it in a second. But what is it called? Just Before the Battle, Mother. So I wanted to have that in my 67. I wanted people to see the tradition that Kristofferson is in.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's oh, wow, that's really interesting. So, have you been listening to him for a good deal of your life? When did
yes.
he first come on your radar?
Oh, good question. And because at first I hated him. I really did.
What was it about that you hated him
Okay, good
for?
question. So I'm visiting my friend in Memphis. He had graduated from where I lived in Staten Island. We went to high school together, and then he moved to Memphis for some reason. And he invited me down, and of course I want to see Memphis as like the great blues city and so on.
Mm,
And he had the album Kristofferson. It was called Me and Bob McGee, and I listened to his version of Me and Bob and McGee. And I said his version because by that point I was very familiar with and a huge fan of Janis Joplin's version. So I said, this is droning on. It's boring. There's no
yeah.
musical life in this song. He's just singing. But something clawed at me, and I didn't know what it was. But I let Janice win, and because I just love the way she sings, and then Lottie does at the end, and she goes crazy. She really takes on the role. She is uh, acting, but it sounds like it's her in the song. So I just love her version. So I go back to New York, and there is I'm in the album section, and I see Christoph. So I pick it up. I pick up the album, and I listen to it again, and this I had a different perspective a little bit, that there's an intimacy here that is missing from Janice's. Janice talks about the intimacy and acts out the intimacy. Uh, and I can explain how she does that in my book or now. But
Yeah, yeah,
but the way that Kristofferson uh, sings the song, I'm right there with the couple. I'm in the trucks. There's a very significant truck scene in that song, and I'm there in the truck with them. I'm imagining that the diesel truck has a back seat, and I'm just listening uh, I, in a way that I couldn't have with the performance and the bravado sung with the Janices. So I eventually really come to like the song, and then I heard other songs of his, and I go, "Gee, this guy is good."
yeah,
So there was the transition. I could go on and on about this
sure.
transition, but so do you? Are you interested in any way?
Well, it really is interesting. What year was this? Where were you at? Were you in your teaching career at that time when you really
Yes, I
stumbled
was.
on
I
him?
started teaching in 71, so I'm an old man. And and probably 74 or
Yeah.
70. Now that those songs, his song came out in 70, her song came out in 71, I think.
Yeah, and they never met. Was
Oh,
that is
yes,
that
they
a,
did.
they did meet?
Oh,
Janis
they met.
Joplin did?
And they met in very essential ways. According to a book about Janis now, and I quoted in my book, I don't
Yeah.
I don't really have much of a biography of Kristofferson in my book. I really concentrate on his lyrics and the lyrics of others. But there are some um, interesting stories about him, and one and it's in a book. So all I did was quote the book rather than make make it like I'm a biographer. I'm just reporting that they had a love affair that might have been very brief in a
Ah,
in the Chelsea Hotel, which is on 23rd Street in
yeah.
Manhattan. And it's I think it's a famous story, or at least it was for people my age. And she loved the song. Bob Newirth introduced her to it. Bob Newirth was depicted in the movie Complete Unknown. He was
Right.
he was a big character there in the movie, and he had this role with the record label. Oh, he had heard Gordon Lightfoot's version of the song.
Yeah, love Gordon Lightfoot. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
that's a
yeah.
big part of our lives. Yeah, growing up where I did, not too far from Canada, it was just,
Oh
yeah, there's a
yeah.
whole other, that's another book.
Oh, Gordon Lightfoot's great. So Gordon Lightfoot covered the song. Newirth heard it, told Jan, I guess he was Janis's manager. I don't know. Janis loved it, wanted, I don't know. Somehow she meets him and the brief love thing happened.
Oh,
And that's
well.
one of the few things that I talk about. How can you not tell that story?
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah. I didn't know that relationship or how close they were, if they ever had met. That's really amazing. I know that the single had come out. I don't know if was she already gone by then by the time
Yes,
it hit
she
the
was.
charts?
It was one of those cases, there's a number of cases when someone dies and all of a sudden the song reaches number one. Now,
Yeah.
there's no question in my mind that that song would have been popular and number one without her death. But yes, she had died maybe 3 months before it was released.
Oh wow.
She was my, um,
Yeah. Yeah, I think that might have been the case with Otis Redding, Dock of the Bay,
absolutely
that kind of thing.
right. With the Barkays, they
Yeah.
died. If you want to go back to the 50s,
Yeah. That does happen. Yeah.
Johnny Ace. Johnny Ace did Pledging My Love and then supposedly um, shot himself playing roulette.
Oh
And
jeez.
there's enough
Yeah.
Russian roulette. There's enough people verifying that story that I actually believe it. Of course, that's not in my book, but you're asking in
Yeah.
for that the nature of dying and then. Oh, and by the way, another interesting thing is when she went to number one with the song, the Monument label was the label for Kristofferson. They changed the album name from Kristofferson to Me and Bobby McGee.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see executives saying, "Oh, gee whiz, this is
Let's
the song, this is the
capitalize on
name."
this. Let's
Yeah.
capitalize on it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That really does. Just wow, what a catalog. And these unbelievable classic songs that so many charted and inspired so many. It's just, he's had an incredible impact on the culture. And with these lyrics, I'm sure it's really, you're delving into that and saying how this has inspired other artists and how this has been such a positive impact on the culture.
Right. There's so many books, like say on Dylan, uh, that talk about the backstories to songs and don't really look at the quality of his writing. And that's what I wanted to do that in my book. I wanted, I didn't want to talk about his acting career, although I mentioned it, and the fact that he acted came in one particular essay I wrote. Uh, I wanted I wanted his writing biography, so to speak. I wanted people to meet him as a writer,
Yeah.
and and one way we can see it is there's a difference in the way Janis does verse two and the way Kristofferson does it. I could talk about that if you're interested.
Yeah,
And
that is interesting.
and
I mean, interpretation is just so key in a lot of these things as to
oh,
what makes it a success.
that's right. And she changed two words, and she changed the truck scene. I would say radically. Maybe I'm being overly dramatic. Would you like to?
Yeah, that's interesting. And then to know where Janis Joplin, what was she thinking, in doing such a
I
thing?
see. Anytime I discuss something that he did, I try to. Okay, so he did this in writing. Now, what impact does it have on the meaning of the song? All right. Now, I have. Is this live? But this is not live, is it?
No, we're not live.
Okay. So I
We
want to.
can slice things out if we need to.
Okay, good. So I
I'm
just.
still not seeing you on the camera yet. Is
Oh,
that
you're not?
yeah, that's still it's fine. I mean,
Oh,
we can get around things like that.
I'm
I can.
surprised at that. Can I do something on the computer?
Yeah, I mean, it could be on the Zoom settings. I'm not sure if
Zoom settings. Let's see. Zoom workplace. Because somebody interviewed me. Oh, video is canceled out.
there you go. Yeah, because I
You
get
can't.
one. It's kind of funny because it's kind of interesting if I don't see you, I can kind of imagine who you might be looking
All right,
like.
now tell
Yeah.
me the truth. Am I as handsome as you imagined myself?
Yeah, even better. Even yeah. Can you point the camera down a little bit?
Like
And our
this?
yeah, I like to put us on YouTube just because it's another place. I don't really promote it as heavily here on YouTube, but because I'm really more about the audio. But it's nice to have. I make clips for the net and all that, so we can promote. But that's fine. Yeah, that's good.
Here I
I mean,
am.
everything's interesting so far.
Now, what
I
I
know there's
so
always a setting or something like
this
that.
sounds like pressure. This sounds like so far it's been interesting. You better keep it up, Somma.
No pressure there.
Is that what you mean? And your name is Bob, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, and by the way, have we established that Long John is not your relative or anything?
Yeah, Long John Nebel. I mean, a
Oh,
lot of
it's
people
Neville.
he goes by Nebel, I go by Nabel.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
my name is actually the last name is really German, and Nebel is the closest to the pronunciation. It should be like Nabel or something like that, but it's really Nebel. Long E is the more correct way, but people have just given up like Long John did. And I remember my dad got his book. It was a biography that came out maybe in the late 70s, early 80s. And Ed McMahon was a good friend of his. Ed McMahon, who was a co-host of the Tonight Show for those kids who, the late night is a dying franchise, and Johnny Carson was huge back in his day, but Ed McMahon was a huge fan of Long John Neville.
Really? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
back on.
I was a little distracted trying to find. See, I'm realizing now that I have this thing on the computer,
Yeah.
and then I realized that I can't be. Let me see if I could. Can I make your windows smaller like this? Is that okay?
Yeah, I can't see what you're doing on your computer, so we're fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah, if you're wanting to look something up, that's totally
Yeah, I
fine.
tried to
Yeah,
put it
any
on my
notes?
laptop, but it's not. I didn't. I thought of it at the last minute. The laptop is not as friendly as this. So let me do this. Let me do this. And if you want, you want to hear the words to Bobby. Let me get this. Okay. Um, if you want, I can explain it. And then I just happen to have a snippet, a 30-second snippet of Janice singing what I'm talking about and Kris singing about it. So
Yeah, yeah.
I could talk about it and then we could play, but I'm going to be playing on this thing, this
Yeah, that's
laptop.
fine. And it doesn't have to be the higher the quality. I think we get dinged on YouTube anyway with copyright infringements and all that. So if it's like, playing on a lower quality thing and we're just kind of getting the gist of it, that's
You
fine.
got to just, yes. Yeah. Everything in my book, by the way, was vetted by a lawyer. And
Oh, I'm sure.
they said it was fair use. So I would think that just taking the snippet and another
Yeah.
snippet is fair use. But anyway, here is if I could describe it. Let's see. Uh, wait a minute. Let me see. Me and Bob. Let me just try again. Let me just see this. I'm not a professional here, you know.
Yeah, that's fine. But really amazing that you taught math for so many years and then just converted yourself to becoming an author. I think that's quite amazing from going from
Yes.
numbers to the written word because a lot of people get into writing and they like to avoid statistics and numbers. That's why I went into the communications business. But
Yeah.
yeah, that really is an amazing transformation, definitely.
Well, and one thing is, you want to hear something interesting about transformation? Um, I went to a jazz show
Yeah.
in Mount Kisco, which is near me in Westchester, and there was an incredible jazz band there. And they're doing all this. They did Coltrane. They did a lot of the things you'd expect a jazz to do. And then they said, we want to do Crazy by,
Yeah,
well, Willie Nelson wrote it and Patsy Cline
Patsy
sang,
Cline.
made the
Yeah.
hit. And the guitarist was so sensitive and jazz with jazz. They didn't sing the song. They just played it. And I was just I'm still overwhelmed by their version of it. At the end of the show, I asked the guitarist if we could collaborate. Could we take five and I would record this and we would do it. Could, could, could we collaborate? You be the guitarist, I'll be a singer. And I said, you're going to have to put up with me being a non-professional singer. Uh, but I know the songs and I can sing.
Nice.
And if you want, I could show you how I sing, but I don't think you want it. But the thing is that and I just got a letter, an email from him last night saying yes, he would do it. So we have a studio. We're going to meet in, and we're going to record 5 Kristofferson songs. I'm going to start out. It's going to be spoken word, like Steve Allen used to do on
Hmm.
in the 50s. Uh, with Jack Kerouac. Jack Kerouac singing from On the Road, and Steve Allen playing the guitar, playing the piano. So here he would start playing just a little jazz guitar, and I would come in and I would read the highlights of of the song we're going to sing. But I'm just going to read it. It's going to be spoken word. Just I want people in the audience to hear how great his singing is, how great not his singing, how great his writing is. Then I'm going to sing the first verse.
Cool.
The guitarist is going to go crazy with his guitar, jazz. And
Yeah.
at the end, we'll come back and I'll sing another verse. And, uh, and then, with the melody now, not jazz, but melody. And then finally he'll end it with jazz, whatever he'll do. Isn't that something?
That's great. Life is short, and if
No, it
you've got,
is.
it's you might as well do it. And it's like some people, and you feel like you're really vulnerable singing. It's like, oh gosh, people can make fun of me and all that stuff. It's
And
like,
they will, and they will.
and who cares? You get to a
Yeah.
point, you get north of 55 in life. I think that's where it
Yeah.
starts to happen.
Right. And I told Paul, his name is, that if if he liked what we were doing, maybe we could bring it on the road. But I said, but I'm going to be honest with you. If you think you'd rather have a professional singer, I would be okay with that. I wouldn't get offended, or it would make sense to me because you'll see that I'm not a professional
Sure.
singer. Anyway, so
Yeah.
we want to do this comparison of
Yeah.
three
Yeah.
three lines in Kristofferson's version versus 3 lines in Janice's
Yes.
version.
Yeah.
And let me just say as a preface, here we're going to see how Kristofferson is a great writer. Not that Janis isn't, but we're going to see his writing and what he's interested in. So they have verse 1 in the song, busted flat and Baton Rouge and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a certain rhythm there, a certain rhyme scheme. Janis wants to do it by keeping that same rhyme scheme. Kristofferson's version, the original version, does not. And this is what we came up with. This is Kristofferson singing. With them windshield wipers slapping time and Bobby clapping hands, we finally sang up every song that driver knew. Now, if you notice, Bobby's clapping hands is in line 4, doesn't even make the whole line. Bobby's
Hmm.
clapping hands, we finally is the fourth line. And notice that what Bobby's doing in the song is just clapping hands to the metro. It's like the windshield wiper slapping time. So think of the windshield wiper as a metronome, and he's singing along. He's clapping along to the
Uh-huh.
metronome.
Yeah, yeah. I always think that is the windshield wiper being, yeah, the metronome. That's, yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes you can get a song out of that. It's like, yeah. I could see where you can get inspired by that and
Yes.
find the melody.
Now listen to Janis's version. And again, she's using the same rhyme scheme with everything the same as um, Kris and she did in the first verse. So here you go. Windshield wipers slapping time. I was holding Bobby's hand in mine. We sang every song that driver knew.
Hmm.
So you see that, and she says we sang every song. He's saying we sang up every song. Now, sang up sounds voracious that he was really into the music. So the difference in the interpretation, as I see it, and it would come out more clearly in my book. Right now, I'm kind of forcing it, believe me. But I think in my book, I try to do an explanation that allows the reader to come along with me. Uh, he's interested at this particular moment in the song in the music.
Yeah.
He's singing up the songs. He's Bobby. They're not holding hands at this moment. In other parts of the song, he is intimate with Bobby, but in this particular case, uh, he's not, and he wants to change the rhythm. See, this is what he does frequently in his song. He doesn't want the rhythm to be exact. Sometimes he does, but sometimes he does not. Um, and so I just find that interesting. Now, we could stop there and go somewhere else, or I could play for you the 2 snippets of them doing the song.
If you can cue this up and
I think
people
I
can
can.
hear that difference, that'd be
I
great. It's okay. I just kind of wonder what that motivation is. Janis Joplin picked this up, and why did she want to change that? We can't get into their minds, but we
right.
kind of wonder, like, what was that inspiration for her to do it? Was she just simply more comfortable with it? Made her maybe sing better, or you kind of wonder about that. But I love, and I'm sure this is a theme throughout your book about the great writer that he was in being so descriptive and
Oh yes,
puts you right there, right? Going from Baton Rouge to New Orleans, it's like, oh, I kind of know that route. It puts you there. So descriptive, and I don't see that with a lot of writers. Just very, very puts you in there in that scene.
vivid imagery. So
Yeah.
this is 29 seconds, and the other one's 21 seconds. So here you go. I don't know if you can hear it well, but let's see how it goes. Here's Kris and then Janis.
Came up, boom, out my dirty bandana was blowing sand while Bobby sang the blues. With them windshield wipers slapping time and Bobby clapping hands, we finally sang a tale of a song that driver knew. And I'm not dead. I was playing soft while I sang the blues. Now, windshield wipers slapping time, so Bobby's hanging mad. We sang every song that Javi knew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that something?
It really is. It really is. Yeah, when somebody does a cover, it's, they probably most of the time stay true to the lyrics, but sometimes they update them too. But
And
yeah, that's really amazing. Oh, what a singer.
yeah,
Wow. Wow, what a talent. Ugh.
yeah.
We lose so many good ones so young. And we had Kris Kristofferson for so many years.
Oh,
And
we did.
what a career.
He
It
just
just,
passed away.
yeah.
I started the book almost 4 years ago, and here I am. Uh, finally, the book came out.
Yeah, excellent. Did you always want to be able to interview him? Was that always kind of
You know what? I hate to say this because it sounds cruel or sounds. I didn't want to interview him
yeah. It's that
because
don't meet your heroes. Is that it?
no, no. When the book is over, then I would like to meet him. But he might say things about the song. But
Yeah.
but my book is about the freedom of the reader, to interpret the songs the way they want.
Hmm.
And it's intimidating when a singer or the person who wrote it says this is what's going on. Now, I don't know that he would do that, but I don't want to know what he has
Yeah.
to say. I really don't. Uh, After I write it, I do,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, but I don't want to be influenced. That's why I don't give backstories in the songs. Uh, the story behind this is the story, and I can give you a really glowing example of how knowing the backstory will hurt listening to the song. Does that sound like something you
Yeah,
might?
yeah, that's very true. And you want to communicate to everybody. You want to have as wide of an audience as you want and speak to everybody. And you could make that your own song. I think that's how you make a connection and gain a great audience is by saying, "Hey, what does this mean to you?" And yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. The joy of songs is that we can, and poems, is that we can interpret them our way. And like you say, make it our own. Make it our own and not be subject. Would you like to see an example of how, and there's two wonderful biographies of Kristofferson that I'm aware of. One is by Mary Hurd and the other is by Stephen Miller. Um, and they describe the song Good Morning John as Kristofferson having written it at a party that was honoring Johnny Cash having graduated from a rehab center.
Mm,
And according to the stories there, um, the according to the stories, uh, Kristofferson was there and had written this song called uh, and we have the song. But then later on, he in the Feeling Mortal album or one thing there, or maybe the album before that, uh, he sings a song "Good Morning John," and both of those biographers say that this is connected to this rehab reunion thing. But I don't think of it that way because he says in the song "Good Morning John" and he refers to John as a son. Now
mm,
he's not going to refer to Johnny Cash, who was his superior in many ways, as his son. At the obituary or at the funeral to Johnny Cash, Kris refers to him as the Abraham Lincoln of the wildlife or something like that.
mm.
He thought of him as inspiring the world. Now, in the song, we hear inspiration. We could believe that the song started out the way that Mary Hurd says it did. But as it turns out, he wrote a song that's quite different from its origins. And I think it's confusing to know about the Johnny Cash, even though I confess, put it in the book, but I say, don't listen to it to my readers. That's not important. It's us. It's our freedom to interpret that matters as we listen to Kristofferson songs or any songs for that matter.
Huh. So this was 4 years in the making, this book?
I would say, yes, 4 years, three and a half
From
years,
idea through everything in publishing.
including I was in talk about rehab. I was in rehab for 2 months. I could get into that in a second if you want, but but I was getting bored. I had written a lot of the book already, but I had a lot more to go. So I got my sister to get me a laptop, and I did some of the best writing I've ever done in rehab. Because in the rehab, I was stuck in bed. I couldn't get out of bed. I could barely move my arms, couldn't walk or anything. And I'm writing away, and I always think of it as my rehab book.
Yeah, yeah, it disciplined you. It definitely, you had no distractions. It's like this is what you had to do, and you had the inspiration
The
for sure.
inspiration, talk about no distraction. I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, finally, I'm not going to be bored for once." It was really great.
But you probably, and maybe you learned this in rehab, is that you have more self-discipline than you think you do. I mean, a lot of people could just be like, I want to be a vegetable and don't have the energy.
Yeah.
Where do you think you got that energy? Is that something that's very natural long before you even went in there?
Well, I have had, yeah, I think energy is part of my makeup. Uh, I see myself when I was teaching as an enthusiastic teacher. Now, you can ask my students whether that sounds right to them, and I think it does sound right to many of them, probably not to all of them. Uh, I think of myself as enthusiastic, optimistic life. Uh, with I dabble in non aggression, non enthusiasm. Sometimes I dabble in that, but I'm basically a enthusiastic guy.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what you learn in rehab is that you can be disciplined, you can tap into that, but obviously overcome demons as well. And that's the skills that you learn while you're in there, I would imagine.
In rehab, the motivation for enthusiasm is clear. I don't want to be a vegetable. I want to walk. And I need to show you me walking. Can you see me walk?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can even dance. I could do this and it just makes me so happy that I can do that. So there's the motivation. I wanted to get back to it, and the rehab is made harder by the fact that I have a set of stairs to walk up. So we had to bring that into the kitty, so to speak.
Mm,
So,
yeah.
so do you have something else, or you want me to? What should we do here? I could tell you some stuff I prepared for this interview, or
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you have anything prepared or anything like that, just yeah, Kristofferson was just such an unbelievable inspiration. Had incredible amount of hits that probably a lot of people aren't even aware of. But he had one hit with Rita Coolidge, and who he was with.
oh,
Uh,
he was married to her.
Yeah, and so like, okay, I don't know how that works, like a mom and pop kind of business, or even in this case, a song.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been there was George, and Tammy Wynette, that kind of thing. I mean, like, I don't know how people do that. It's got to be so tough to like be
Yeah.
artists. You're involved, yet you're creating together as well.
Got to be a strain on the relationship. It has to be. And they got divorced. I don't know whether it was caused by what we just said.
Yeah, and these weren't short marriages that he was in either. I think didn't he stay roughly like a decade with each wife? It
Uh,
seems to be
Yeah, I
that
don't I don't know. I don't remember that. I do
not somebody
remember.
who just like gave up quickly. And, he was with them for quite some time in each case, but it gives you a lot of fodder for music for sure. It's
Absolutely. So here are some of the things I prepared, and um, we can something strikes you. Uh, I'm seeing that we have actually covered a lot of what I wanted to cover, but one of the things that I talk about is good writing. I gave examples that I have here that show what a superior writer he is. I shouldn't say superior because that's comparative. I don't want to compare him to other writers and say that he's better than Willie Nelson uh, but so I should take the word. So what I meant when I said superior is just great, a great writer.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. And on that level with Willie Nelson and Johnny Cash and these guys who, I mean, they're contemporaries, even work together, Highwaymen. So they, they all have their own take on things and
Absolutely.
equally talented, all of them.
Absolutely. I wouldn't, even, but even somebody who's a pop person, I wouldn't want to say that Chris is better than they are. Uh, that's not,
Yeah.
I
And
don't
it's so
know.
subjective too. I mean,
Right,
with critics who come out and try to make it seem like this is an exact science, it's like,
right.
everybody has their strengths and not everybody's their cup of tea either. That's how music is. Not everybody loves Kris Kristofferson or Willie Nelson. It's just, you know, it's how it strikes you. And they make memories for millions.
Yeah. One of the things I could do, I just thought of this. You're saying it, not everybody liked Christopherson. However, the big thing about Christopherson is that there were many, many covers of his songs
Mm.
that reached number one. And I could go through some of them if you're interested.
Yeah. What did go number one that somebody had
Okay,
covered
let me see how I can
Kristofferson?
do that now. Let me get this.
And a lot
Uh,
of things most people wouldn't even know. He's just
and then when you get tired of this,
yeah.
you could say, Rick, that's enough. Here, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So, for the Good Times, written by Christopherson, he sang it. Ray Price brought it to number one. Al Green did an R&B version of it. Um, Help Me Get Through the Night. Sammy Smith made a number one hit. Willie Nelson had a number four hit later on. Gladys Knight and the Pips, another R&B group, uh, uh, brought it to number 13 on the R&B charts. Um, Let me see. Uh, Junkie and the Juice Head, written by Johnny Cash. Oh, Johnny Cash didn't have a hit of it, but he had an album named after Johnny Cash did an album. Um, Me and Bobby McGee, Roger Miller had done that song first, even before he put Christopherson put it on his album, and and then Janis Joplin I mentioned brought it to number one.
Yeah,
Uh,
back in those days, people did covers much more quickly after the original release, and in that case with Bobby McGee, even before he did it.
Before at that
Yeah,
point, Christopherson was thinking of himself just as a writer.
yeah.
I
I
suppose.
can understand that. Yeah, it's like, look, I'm just a lyricist. I get it, but yeah, but no, you're a performer. Tag, you're it. You're doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Once more with feeling. Jerry Lee Lewis covers it and brings it to number two.
yeah, that's a good
Um,
one. It's kind of anthemic. It kind of has that slap happiness with the trumpet. Great song. Once more
yeah,
with feeling. Jerry Lee Lewis. And what year does it say what year Jerry Lee Lewis did that?
yes. I just happen to have the date here. Let me see. Once more with feeling, Jerry Lee, 1970,
Yeah.
which is when. Oh, so that's long before he recorded it. Christopherson recorded it. I'm saying Christopherson, but in my book I refer to him as Chris.
Yeah.
I don't want to be pretentious though in a short interview, but I explain why
Sure.
I have to call him Chris in the book. I can't call him Christopherson.
Well, that's totally fine. Yeah. And whoever accuses, hey, you were acting like you were best friends. It's like,
Yes,
no,
right.
that's
And I never met him. I never met him. Uh, but you
that
read his
happens.
lyrics and okay, should I keep going or is that enough?
That's good. That's good.
Okay.
He has so many great songs. Great song called The Taker. If you
Taker, yes.
go into
Waylon
that.
Jennings brought it to number five.
And I love that arrangement because I love production and I love
Yeah.
that Mexican sounding horn section in it. It's just very original. I don't know how many people were even doing it at that time, but The Taker, yeah, thumpy like a Johnny Cash kind of a song. Very, very
Yes.
thumpy.
Like
Reminds me of him.
The Ring of Fire or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Love those guys. They're irreplaceable. We don't really have that these days. It's just way different business now.
It is. It is. And I lament. One thing I lament when I listen to modern music, not some songs are great,
Oh yeah. Yeah,
but
there's a lot of great talent out there
a
too.
lot of great.
And yeah.
Just listening to a great, but a lot of times the lyrics can't be heard exactly, and
hmm
or you can hear them, but they're subdued by almost overpowered by the music,
Yeah.
and you lose the emotional feeling of the singing.
Yeah, it's the way that it's mixed
Yeah,
and the lead singer can be somewhat drowned out. It's like what are they saying? And there's a lot of good stuff in there.
yeah.
But yeah. And I always keep saying in this day and age, it's great that everybody can have a shot, and it's also a liability as well because like everybody could do it now with the equipment that we have.
Yeah,
You can record in your house. So it's a double-edged thing. It's nice that you're able to do it, but gosh, anybody can go out there and do it. And I'm sure Kris Kristofferson, the estate, is gonna keep doing well with people covering these songs. People will
absolutely.
always be. These are
I-
total treasures.
And I
Highwayman.
hope my book helps them. Hope my book.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. These are just amazing songs. Highwayman just really, really brings you into it. Come sundown, it's really endless. It's great that you've chronicled all of this.
Yeah,
Did so well doing that. Now you have a hardcover out there and paperback. How is
I
that
do.
working on the publishing?
Well, it was released on August 12th. You can pick it up in on Amazon. However, I am encouraging people to uh, go to a local bookstore. I personally patronize local bookstores, and it's very easy for a bookstore to get the book for you. If you call, they'll probably have it the next day. Ingram is the distributor to the local bookstores, and uh, and what I've been doing lately is I just visited half the bookstores in Westchester and a couple in Manhattan, and just go up there and introduce myself. And I have a little spiel on a piece of paper. And I said, you don't have to hear me. Here it is written out, and you can go to you can get it uh, from Ingram, and it's returnable. At this point, I might change that later on, but right now it's returnable. And and so far, some bookstores cared about me, and other ones could hardly wait till I got out. But anyway,
But is it now you do a lot of these kind of talks? Do you do like events to go out there and promote this, or have you started doing that?
I'm asking in each bookstore. Each bookstore it says I'd be very happy to do a reading. Now, one bookstore in Chappaqua, which again is near me, said, "Yeah, bring a bunch of friends and you can have a little launching party at our place." The name of the bookstore is uh, uh, Scattered Scattered Book, Scattered Words, maybe
In downtown,
Scattered
yeah.
Scattered some. So yeah, and my idea is to give some talks, but more than giving a talk, I like an interactive thing where I like people to hear Christopherson sing it and have the lyrics in front of them, and and we're not going to
Yeah,
sell
that's a
lyrics.
great idea.
I don't think there'd be any copyright infringement by just giving them the lyrics or posting the lyrics on the screen, and then asking them, "What do you think?"
Yeah, that's a great idea. And going to downtown Chappaqua. Let's hope maybe Bill Clinton was a big fan. I don't know. I'm trying to assume that. Let's invite the president over to your talk, and you guys could talk about Chris Kers. And I bet if he is a fan, don't want to assume. I
Yeah,
could see Bill Clinton going on forever about that.
saxophone, playing a saxophone.
Yeah, yeah. So that sounds fantastic, and getting out there and get this wherever you get those books in the hardcover. I'm sure more than just a coffee table book. I'm sure as well.
Right. Yeah, and there is a hardcover version, and be prepared for the book that hardcover to be cost $25, but be prepared for the paperback to be $17.
Yeah, that's normal. That really is. Yeah, better than just getting that on your Kindle or Nook or wherever. Just getting
Oh,
it
yeah, and there's there's a what's the word? Ebook.
ebook.
I've never read from an ebook. However, see, if you look at my books, I have so many. I'm a book person. Uh, I have dialogues with my books, and,
Good.
in the margins. And nobody's when I die, I have some really good books. No one's going to want them because I've written in them, unless I become famous. I become famous, which of course I won't. But so I love having. Oh no, I disagree with this. Oh, so I can. How can you do that as effectively with an ebook?
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I mean, this is the kind of book you really do want to hold in your hands if you're looking at lyrics
Right.
and
Yes.
the way they're interpreted. That's, yeah, you definitely want to do that and get that hardcover version as well. So
Yeah.
that's great.
My friend Biz, I showed him the advanced copy, and he's a big ebook reader. Oh, he actually is a big audio book reader, listener.
Yeah.
Um, he said this is a book you have to. It should be a hard copy of it because the illustrations pop out. Did I mention that there were 37 illustrations in the book?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, because I see that cover to this book, which
Yes.
really this draws you in. And folks,
Zach.
I mean, I might try to edit this thing in here because I do some editing. I love this illustration. And who did you get to do all this? This is really
Oh, he's my nephew, and his name is Zach Cavalluzzi. And he did
yeah,
36 of the illustrations. And a friend of mine, Mike Garland, did one of them. Uh,
yeah. This
the
is really
illustration,
nice.
Zach is so good at this.
Yeah, where you got Kristofferson. I'll put this up here with the harmonica. I
Oh,
love it.
you're letting the reader
The
see
the
it.
the dice, yeah.
Is
I'll edit this in. Yeah, I
is
love
that
that.
something, that cover?
Oh, it's beautiful. These are great illustrations. You found somebody very, very talented to do these
You know
illustrations.
what? I didn't pick. I mean, I did start with him because he was my nephew. Didn't
Sure.
didn't necessarily think I was going to end with him. I just wanted to give him a shot, and he just
Mm-hmm.
blew away with his stuff. I didn't realize he was that good.
Blows you away. It really does, folks. If you really do, yeah. I think the physical copy is the way to go. Wow, amazing. This really is. And I'm
I can
glad that you
tell.
stopped by here. Yeah,
I can
I'm
tell
really
by your
happy.
body language and your eyes that we're done.
Yeah, I'm looking at this cover. I'm astounded by this cover. I just have
Yeah.
this up on my other monitor. I'm just like really,
Yes.
really, yeah, yeah, absolutely wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Isn't this a
And
great way to conduct a retired life?
it
Could
is.
could
I'm
you do it like the
jealous.
great
I'm
Bob
jealous.
Neville? Neville.
Bob Nebel.
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 Oh,
Yes.
Nebel.
Yeah.
Bob Nebel.
Yeah.
And
Long
what is,
John was on
let me
W.
copy down. What podcast are you?
Yeah. Look for it. It's TFTC with my name, Bob Nabel.
Bob Nebel.
And the URL is talesfromthecorners.com.
Oh, talesfromthecorners.com. Of thecorners.com.
And we have a whole bunch of people there. I will try to get our chat out here as soon as we can. It might be a couple of weeks. I'm running off to Cleveland to go meet some people and
Good for
catch
you.
up with people. I'm having my high
That
school
sounds like a
reunion.
vacation today.
Kind of. Not much of a vacation. I got some family up there and some friends and try to get up there as much as I can. So,
Believe it or not, I'm going to be in Cleveland the first week of September.
oh, good.
And I'm going to go to a couple of bookstores in Cleveland.
Oh, good. I hope you go down to Coventry. It's a very eclectic area in Cleveland Heights.
Coventry?
Yeah, Coventry, I believe. I hope they still have bookstores over there. It's a really cool area. Really, really neat. I used to go get records down there. A guy named Harvey Picar used to live near there. If you remember that movie, American Splendor, uh,
No, I don't
he
remember.
was Paul Giamatti played him, and
Oh, boy.
yeah,
American.
Harvey. He died a few years back, and then his wife died maybe last year.
Yeah.
And he was a cartoonist. Well, actually, he worked with R. Crumb, who was a cartoonist, and Harvey
Oh, a crumb.
R. Crumb. He
I
used to
just
work
saw
with
him
R.
live,
Yeah,
92nd Street Y. I just saw him
yeah.
speak. Great man.
I just rewatched that documentary too recently too. But Harvey Picar used to do the writing for R. Crumb, and yeah, great movie called American Splendor.
Wow, I didn't know that. That
Yeah,
and I knew that he didn't do the writing, but I didn't realize that there was one person who generally wrote his stuff.
yeah, yeah. And Harvey did, very eclectic the way he would write, and R. Crumb would illustrate. Yeah, they were a good team.
Oh God, yeah, yes. Okay.
Excellent.
So,
Excellent.
so Bob Nebel, thank you so much for this is a highlight of this August
Yeah, there
so
you
far.
go. And have a good September and enjoy the time in Cleveland. I'm running up there, hopefully a little cooler than it is. I'm here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, you're in Georgia now.
Yeah, yeah. I've been here for, oh man, many moons, many decades.
Yeah. The Ray Charles songs, the best.
Oh,
You're on
love
my
it.
mind. Obi
Love it.
Michael. How am I gonna hear this?
I will notify everybody when this comes out on it'll be on the website and
So go to the
hopefully
website.
this will be out soon. And you could download this wherever you get podcasts as well.
Really?
I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, all of those.
Spotify, Apple, Amazon.
Amazon Music as well.
Amazon is my favorite.
Yeah, I do use them. Yeah. I could listen to everything on that. I love them.
Yeah, it's less complicated than the other ones.
Yeah, definitely.
Bob,
Well, enjoy and best wishes on your publishing future.
thank you very much. I don't know that there's a publishing future in my book, but
Eh,
there may be.
yeah, we'll have sequels. Plenty
Sequel.
of subjects out there.
Absolutely. Okay.
Have a good one. Take care.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much, Bob.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.